بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ما بعد. It comes in one hadith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has some seasons. إن لربكم في الدهر نفحات فتعرضوا لها. That from time to time your Lord sends a nafha. Nafha is like the blowing of a fresh breeze, a fresh wind. It's like on a hot and sunny and stuffy day, there's this refreshing breeze that begins to blow, and somebody who is outside and sweltering in the heat and sweating and in a great deal of difficulty, how they kind of open themselves up. They stand in the face of the breeze and they want the breeze to touch every part of their body. They'll loosen up their clothing so that the breeze enters inside, and they want to make the most of it. They'll enjoy it so much because before this there was this stagnation, there was this unbearable heat and discomfort. Now the breeze that comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is there not just to make people comfortable, but rather to also to give people an opportunity, a chance to do things that they weren't able to do before. So one of the questions that we should be asking ourselves is, how much are we using this opportunity? To what extent are we using this this breeze to our advantage, this breeze of Ramadan? Because it's not going to last forever. And there are many people who were with us last year in this month who are not with us today. And the same will happen this year, that there are many people who are with us in this world for this Ramadan who will not be with us next year. Shaitan has this mechanism where he wants us to keep everything as same old, same old. He wants us to stay in that mode of not changing, and he uses different techniques. One of the techniques that Shaitan uses is he directs our attention to the people around us and says, what are the people around you going to think? Don't try too hard. It doesn't look good. You're going to, you're going to come across as someone that you're not actually in real life. So, don't try to be that person. Don't try to be so religious. Don't try to be so holy. Don't try to act like you're so pious, because you're not that person. Shaitan plays games with us, with our minds, using other people, that other people might get the wrong impression. People might think this, people might think that. So in this way, he very easily and quickly tackles those people that have a low drive, a low sense of commitment. He tackles them very easily because they don't really get started. Then there are other people that Shaitan will tell them that this is not something that you can do. This is not for you. Okay? A person might ask themselves, why is this not for me? Well, it's because you're different. Come on, everyone knows what kind of person you are. Everyone knows how you like to talk. This will not suit your personality. So this is another way that Shaitan kind of slide tackles the person and knocks them down. Some people are frightened. Shaitan frightens them that, look, if you start doing this, then you're going to be missing out on a lot of fun. So he uses this technique to to intimidate them, to make them feel like they're going to be deprived of something, even though there's nothing that they're actually going to be deprived of. So it's just a way of discouraging the person. For some people, they'll say that, look, you don't have any support, you don't have any resources. For some people, he'll say you don't have the knowledge. For some people, he'll say that, look, if you do this now, then you won't be able to come back to your real self. These are all games that Shaitan plays with people's minds. A wise Muslim is, first of all, they are so concerned with, and they're so motivated and driven to do whatever it is that they want to do, that they don't pay attention to these things. Even if these thoughts do come to them, they just brush them off like nothing. On the other side, they are committed to pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even at the cost of some fun. They might know that, yes, this is going to cost me a little bit of enjoyment. I won't be able to have my usual fun, but I'm going to do this anyways. And in this way, they manage to get around it. So there are many reasons or excuses that come to people's minds, and some of the excuses might sound really valid to some people, but on the day of judgment, it's not going to be the people of excuses that are going to be heard. It's the people who came forward when they had to, when they needed to. They are the ones who will be recognized and acknowledged in front of all of the people on the day of judgment. In fact, those who had to do sometimes the most difficult, the most monotonous things, or those who had to give up the most fun, will be the ones who have the greatest prominence on that day. In one hadith, it's mentioned, أطول الناس أعناقا يوم القيامة المؤذنون. On the day of judgment, the mu'adhins will have the longest necks, meaning the mu'adhins will be the most prominent people in the field of Hashr. They will be the most recognized. Why? Because they're the ones who put in the hardest time. They were there at the masjid before everyone else, calling the adhan, and they never put their comfort in front of them. They put the need that no, people need to be called towards salat. I need to be there before everyone else. And no one really recognized them or acknowledged them for this in dunya, but in akhirah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to acknowledge them in front of everyone. So remember, you do have to put in a little bit of time and effort, energy and commitment, even when others around you aren't, if you want recognition in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This Ramadan is that fresh breeze from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's checking us to see how many of us are really taking advantage of it, as opposed to those who kind of just sit where they are and let the breeze pass and they miss out on the opportunity. Every day there are going to be opportunities for us to do something to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every day there will be opportunities for us to slip back into our old selves, our old cycles, our old patterns, habits, behaviors. Every day these opportunities will come and go. Which one we choose every day is going to determine what we are during this month of Ramadan and who we are after this month. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to make the right choices and to become the right kind of people through this month. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.